14 people are confirmed to have died in floods in India's northeastern Sikkim state. A search and rescue operation has been launched for more than 100 people who are missing, including 22 soldiers. Evacuations are taking place as a glacial lake has overflowed. Several bridges and roads have also been destroyed by the heavy rains. Well, the water surge from the intense rainfall caused a high-altitude glacial lake to burst. Lonak Lake sits at the base of peaks surrounding the world's third highest mountain, Kanchenjunga. Take a look at these satellite images. They've been analysed by the Indian Space Research Organisation. They show the glacial lake burst, which eventually led to flooding in the Teesta River. It also shows the lake shrinking, and two-thirds of it appear to have been drained. Let's get more on this. We can speak to Paljor. He joins from Guwahati in India's Assam state. He is the editor-in-chief of EastMojo.com. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Talk us through what's been happening in Sikkim.
Thank you for having me. Well, right now, the entire focus is on search and rescue because over 100 people, as you said earlier, are still missing. I think this will form the bulk of the work that is needed to be done right now. If you look at North Sikkim, which has been severely affected, a small town called Chungthang, where 1,200 megawatt dam burst, the hydroelectric power project dam burst. There, the communication is yet to be established. Similarly, there are many hamlets where communication is to be established. Teams are being dispatched. Now, air sorties in helicopters and all, have been very difficult because the weather, because I'm told in these higher reaches, it is still raining and the weather is difficult for the heli sorties to take place. So in all, this is the focus. As far as the infrastructure is concerned, about 14 bridges have been destroyed. So it will take some time for Sikkim to limp back to normalcy. Over 2,000 tourists are stranded in different places of Sikkim.
So tell us a bit more about the people that are missing. You mentioned tourists, a lot of tourists coming to this area. There are also some soldiers who are missing. What can you tell us?
So as far as the people who are missing, they were mainly settled along the Teesta. That's the main river, the Teesta river basin. So what happened is mostly these are people, the armed forces. So we, have been reporting about 23 army personnel missing. They were at a place called Bardang. This is where the army personnel stopped to refuel. There is a small military camp, and it's very close to the river. So that that's from where these army personnel went missing. The other people, out of that 100, I'm told, could be mostly people working in smaller factories, hotels. So they were along the river. So these are the people who have gone missing, and search is on for them. One army personnel was rescued alive yesterday.
How would you say the authorities are coping with the crisis? Are the relief efforts adequate? Do they have the equipment they need and so on?
Yes, for now, because the disaster occurred mostly along the river, so the teams that were already there, the disaster relief teams of the state government, of the central government, and also, we have a large number of army there because it is very close to the Tibet border. So they were deployed fairly quickly and reached these spots. So they are the ones who are primarily conducting the search and rescue. The other teams who are outside the states have been put on standby. So there are other teams in Calcutta, there are other teams in other states like in Bhubaneswar. So they have been kept on standby for now. So maybe today, if the need be, they will be moved into Sikkim. The main problem right now is the weather, because weather is hampering search and rescue. Helicopter sorties are not possible as of now because of the rains.
And tell us a bit more about Lonak Lake, because I believe there had been a warning by scientists just a few years back that there was this risk that the lake could burst. Was anything done about it, said about it at the time?
Right. So since 2013, this glacial lake has been forming, as you know, because of climate change. The glaciers have been receding, and because the glaciers are receding, we have these glacial lakes which are formed. The warnings were out since 2013. Climate scientists, researchers had been going there. In 2017, the government of Sikkim sent a team up. In fact, one of my friends was in that team. They went. Now, this is a very difficult area, about 5,200 meters, 17,000 feet above sea level. There are no roads, so mostly pipes were taken, I'm told. Large pipes were taken to try and drain out the water. So these pipes were placed, and they call it the siphon method because it's very difficult to take any pumps because there is no electricity at that altitude. Working with huge earth-moving machinery is dangerous because that could lead to a deluge. So they didn't do that. So they were trying to siphon the water using large pipes, which are not really successful. After that, I'm told, as recent as last month, another team had visited. But, despite these warnings, I think the government could not proactively tackle a situation. This was compounded by the fact that from about 5,200 meters, the water came down with such velocity that it hit a dam at Chungthang, which is at a tri-junction. So when the dam was hit, we are told that the dam was holding about 5.08 million cubic meters of water. That's equivalent roughly to about 2,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So coupled with the water that came from the Ronak lake burst, then the dam that burst. So you can imagine the amount of water that went down river, destroying everything in its path, destroying homes, bridges. The state right now left with very little infrastructure, I would say, especially when it comes to bridges, because bridges connect the Himalayan mountains.
Karma, I appreciate your time. We're just looking at those pictures. It is indeed devastating to the people that live in the area. Thank you for your time. Karma Paljor joining us there from Guwahati, Assam in India.